Hello traders, welcome back to this week Forex analysis. In this week analysis, we're looking at the Euro USD, the Pounds USD, USDJPY, Australia USD, US30, BTC, and good. We look at the key levels and our area of interest and the trend of the market for us to know the exact level to take our trade from this new week. So let's go straight to the chart to point out those key levels. If you are new to my channel, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more trading tips and forex analysis. So let's go straight to the chart. So let's start our analysis with the Euro USD. Euro USD dropped last week. If you watch my previous weekly analysis last week, I said I expect price to retest this particular resistance zone, and you can see that price tested this zone, and you can see that price dropped from that particular zone to the downside. So what do we expect on Euro USD this week? Euro USD this week on my daily chart, you can see we still have this higher high, we still have higher high, we have a lower high, we have this lower high, then lower high. So we expect Euro USD this week to retest back to this zone. Then we can start looking for our selling opportunity, for more selling opportunity to the downside on the Euro USD. So long we still have this downtrend structure on the Euro USD on the daily chart, this is an indication of more of the bearish trend for the Euro USD this week. This shows that sellers are still in control of the current market direction. So let's confirm this particular trend on our weekly time frame to know if the weekly, which is the higher time frame, support this trend, this downtrend, for more of a selling opportunity this coming week, this week. So let's go to the weekly chart of the Euro USD. So on my weekly chart of the Euro USD, you can clearly see we still have price breakout of our major levels, which is we have price breakout of these levels and these levels. So long price breakout of these levels, this is an indication of bearish momentum building up for strong sell opportunity on the Euro USD. So you can see that price has converted these levels, these support levels into resistance level. So long price converted these levels into resistance levels. You expect price to do a retest of these areas, then we'll start looking for selling opportunity for the Euro to the downside. We can't just take trade from these levels. So we need price to do a retest of either these levels or this level, for price to give us a setup from these levels, from these areas, before we can take our trade for a safer entries. We need price on higher time frame levels. Selling from an higher time frame level is a good indication of key zone for selling opportunity. So let's look at the structure of the Euro USD on my weekly chart. So on my weekly chart, you can clearly see that we have this double top. So long we have this double top, this is an indication of price reversal on the Euro USD, which shows that currently, so long price has closed below the neck, which is this level, is the neck of the Euro USD. So long price closed below this neck, this is an indication of price has confirmed the reversal of bearish trend on the Euro USD. So we expect more of the bearish trend this week on the Euro USD. But before we can clearly see strong bearish momentum, once we see the weekly chart creating series of higher low, this is an indication of strong bearish momentum building from the higher time frame, which is the weekly chart. So let's go back to the daily chart. So on my daily chart on the Euro USD, so long the daily is pointing bearish trend and the weekly support the trend. So our job this week is to look at for what selling opportunity from these levels are just pointed on the weekly chart. You can see that the levels are all in lines together. So we have to wait for price to retest into this zone, then we can start looking for more selling opportunity on the Euro USD. So look out for your selling opportunity on Euro USD this week. So let's look at our next pair. Let's go to our next pair, which is the dollar index. Dollar index still remain bullish. We see have strong momentum for buying opportunity on dollar index. If you watch my previous weekly analysis, I said I expect the dollar index to do a retest of this zone, then we can start looking for our possible buying opportunity. You can clearly see that price truly retested this zone and failed to close below it. You can see that price push higher to the top. So what do we expect on the dollar index this week? So this week, price has converted this particular resistance into a support level. Price has also converted this resistance into a support level, this resistance into a support level. So long price convert these areas into a support levels, all we need from the DSY, which is the dollar this week, we need price to do a retest of these levels. Then we can start looking for buying opportunity to the top. Then this levels is a major level. So let's look at the trend now. You can see that we have this major structural level here. So these are inner structure trend, which is we have a lower low, higher low, higher low, then higher low. So these are inner structure movements. So long we have this inner structure movement, then if price can break this major structural level, this will be a strong bullish momentum for the DSY, which is the dollar this coming month. So we have to be patient, wait for price to give us a clear confirmation for us to see strong bullish momentum on the dollar index. So let's look at the weekly chart of the dollar index. So on my weekly chart of the dollar index, you can clearly see that price is currently on a resistance level. We have price close on this weekly resistance level, which is price close on this weekly resistance level. So long price close on this resistance level, we can't just buy on this resistance level. Buying on a resistance level is a trap. So we need price to come to a support level, which is not just a support level, a good area where we can also look at for buying opportunity on the dollar index. So what do we expect this week on the dollar index? We expect price to do a retest of this level, which is this area. Then we can start looking for possible buying opportunity of price to this resistance level. So you can see that the dollar index already is showing a clear sign of reversal this week for price to retest key levels on the weekly chart before we can start looking for our possible buying opportunity for the dollar. So let's look at the trend of the dollar on the weekly chart. On my weekly chart, you can see we have this higher high, we have this lower high, lower high, lower high. So long we have this series of lower high, this indicates we see as the dollar still remain on a bearish trend. Then we also have this higher high, then a lower high. These are inner, these areas created inner structure movement. So what we expect this week, the trend of the market on the DSY this week, for us to clearly confirm the strong bullish momentum for the DSY, we need price to break this major structural level. Then we can start looking for strong buying opportunity for the DSY to the top. So long we still have price on a sideways trend. Now we still have sideways trend structure on the DSY now. So we expect price to give us a series of higher low for us to know that price is building on strong bullish move for the DSY, which is the dollar index. So let's go back to the daily chart of the dollar index. You can see from my daily chart now, the daily chart and the weekly chart are all in line. They are all indicating price reversal back to this support level for start looking for buying opportunities to the top for the dollar index. So let's look at our next pair. But before we look at our next pair, if you are serious with your trading and you want to transform your trading to the career to the next level, you can get my one-on-one mentorship. The link is in the description below. You can also get my video courses. The link also in the description below. So let's continue with the analysis. So let's look at the pounds USD. On my daily chart, we can see we still have the pounds USD still creating series of lower high, which is we still have this lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. So long price is creating this series of lower high. So our job is to look out for more of the selling opportunity this week, so long we see have this strong bearish trend. So we can't trade against the trend. We need to stick to the trend of the market, to follow the trend of the market, so that our analysis will be more accurate for us to give us a clear result for good opportunity for buying or selling. So we have to stick to the trend of the market. And with sticking to the trend of the market, it will give you high risk rewards to what? To ratio. Here we going where you can easily get 1:5, 1:6, 1:7. So on the daily chart now, you can see that we have strong bearish momentum on the British pounds USD. So long we have this strong bearish momentum, we need price to come back to this support level, start looking for selling opportunity, or we need price to come back to this resistance level and start looking for selling opportunity. So these resistance levels and this resistance level will be our area of interest. We'll be looking at for sell opportunity this week on the pounds USD, because we can't just sell on a neutral level. We need strong areas, strong levels for us to sell the pounds USD. So let's confirm this particular trend on the weekly time frame. Let's go to the weekly time frame. So on my weekly time frame, you can clearly see that. Let's look at the trend first. On my weekly time, you can clearly see we have this higher high, this which is double top, and we also have this level as the neck of the double top. All we need from the pounds USD currently, we have a reversal trend. We need price to break this level for us to start seeing strong bearish opportunity for the pounds USD. So long we see have this double top creating a reversal trend. So our job is to look out for still look out for selling opportunity for price to this level on the weekly time frame. But this week we have price converting this support level into a resistance level. So what do we need on the weekly chart this week? We expect price to retest this particular resistance level. Then we can start looking for selling opportunity for price to the downside. So you can clearly see that the weekly candlestick anatomy pointing more of a bearish trend for this week on the pounds USD. So long price is still pointing more of a bearish trend on the pounds USD this week. So our job is to do nothing more than looking for selling opportunity on the pounds USD this week, except to see price giving us a clear reversal trend for us to look at for buying opportunity before we can do that. But for now, you see have clear direction for selling opportunity on the pounds USD. So long we have price, let's draw this particular level, this weekly level. So let's go back to the daily chart. So long we have price indicating reversal of trend to this level. So our job now is to be patient and relaxed for price to do a test of these levels. Then we can start looking for, which is this level, we can start looking for our selling opportunity for the pounds USD. So let's go to our next pair, which is the Australia USD. Australia USD on my daily chart still remain on a sideways trend. You can see we see have this sideways trend. We don't have the clear direction on Australia USD yet. We see have a sideways trend for the Australia USD, which shows that we remain neutral on the Australia USD. So let's confirm the weekly trend of the Australia USD. On my weekly chart, Australia USD is still indicating more of price reversal to this support level or this support level. So we expect price to drop to this level or this level on the Australia USD. So our job is to look out for more of the selling opportunity for the reversal. But for now, I'm not selling the Australia USD. I'm waiting for clear direction, which is to follow the trend of price on the Australia USD. So let's look at our next pair, which is the USDJPY. USDJPY on my daily chart, you can clearly see we still have strong bullish momentum already. Price is showing more of a bullish trend for the USDJPY. You can see that price has closed above this our major structural level, which is this level and this level. So long price close above this major structural level, we expect price to continue to push higher on the USDJPY. So what do we expect this week on the USDJPY? Last week I said we expect price to buy, and you can clearly see that price really buy on the USDJPY. So this week we expect price to come back to this zone. Then we can start looking for buying opportunities to the top on the USDJPY. So this is the strong level zone we have to look at for our buying opportunity on the USDJPY. So let's look at the trend of the USDJPY. On my USDJPY, we have this lower low, we have this higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, and higher low, which shows sign of a strong bullish momentum for the USDJPY. So long we have this strong bullish momentum on the USDJPY, our job is to look out for more of the selling trend on the USDJPY. So expect price to come to this zone, then we can start looking for buying opportunity for USDJPY. So let's look at the weekly to confirm if price support this particular movement on the weekly chart. Let's look at the weekly chart. So on my weekly chart, we can clearly see that price has converted this resistance into a support level, this resistance into a support level. So what do we expect? So long price convert this level into this resistance level, this resistance to support level, we expect price to do a retest of these levels, then we can start looking for possible buying opportunity for the USDJPY. Once we see price retesting these levels, it will be a clear direction for us to start looking for strong buying opportunity on the USDJPY. So let's look at the structure of the USDJPY on the weekly chart. On my weekly chart, you can see we still have lower low, higher low, then higher low, higher low. This series of higher low are strong indication for more of the bullish trend on the USDJPY, which shows that we have to look out for more of the buying opportunity on the USDJPY. So long the USDJPY on the weekly chart is pointing the more of the buying opportunity, our job this week to look at for buys on the USDJPY. So, but we need major levels for us to buy the USDJPY. Can you just buy on early levels? We need price to come to these areas before we can start looking for our buying opportunity on the USDJPY. So we can't just take our trades on any levels. We need price to come to key levels for us to buy this USDJPY this week. So be patient, feel relaxed, don't rush. You just need time for price to go to that levels that we can also buy that we can also take advantage to buy from on the USDJPY. If you find this analysis helpful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more strategies and forex analysis. Let's continue with our analysis. Let's look at the gold USD. Gold USD is currently changing its trend to downtrend. If you watch my previous weekly analysis last week, those who followed my analysis last week, what did I say on gold USD? I said we have these strong levels. We have these strong levels on gold USD. We also have these resistance levels. All we need price to react to this level and fail to. Then once price fail, we can start looking for selling opportunity. What happened? You can see that price react to that particular level and price fail. What happened next? You can see that price is drop as expected based on my analysis, which shows that my analysis are always accurate and straightforward. If you want to learn how to really analyze the chart clearly, and you want to learn how to take trades on the right levels, and you want to master pure price action and key levels of interest for you to have 85% accuracy on entries, don't forget to book on my one-on-one mentorship, the link in the description below, where I will break down, teach you the right steps, the right levels to take your trade from, to master your trade to become profitable. Trading is creating system. All we have to do in trading, we have to create a system and stick to the system. System is what gives us result in trading. So let's continue to analysis. But if you are serious, book on my one-on-one mentorship, the link in the description below. So you can see that gold really play out as expected last week. This week, what do we expect this week on gold USD? This week we expect price, because you can see that we have price on support level now. So we need price to come back to this resistance level. Then if price fail to break this resistance level, we can start pushing lower back for gold. So we expect price to come to this support level this week. A break of this support level might also trigger more of the bearish trend on the gold USD. So long the gold is still pointing more of a bearish trend this week. So what do we need this week? We need to confirm if truly we expect price to continue to push lower on the gold USD. So let's look at the weekly chart of the gold USD. So on my weekly chart of the gold USD, you can clearly see that price is still currently on a resistance level. But the major structure on the gold USD, you can see that price is still printing series of higher low, which is a sign of more of the bullish trend for the gold USD. So what are we trading currently on the gold USD? We are trading reversal trend on the gold USD, which indicates we see expect price to retrace back to these levels and this level on the gold USD. So long with price on a resistance level and our daily chart is still pointing more of the bearish trend on gold USD. So our job is to look at the selling opportunity on the gold USD this week. So let's go back to daily chart. So this week we have to look at for more of the selling opportunity, which we expect price to retest of these areas. Then we can start looking for selling opportunity to this level. So this week we have to look at for the selling opportunity on the gold USD. So let's look at our next pair, which is the US30. If you follow my analysis last week on US30, I clearly stated that I'm expecting the US30 to do a retest of this level, which is these areas. Then we can start looking for selling opportunity for the US30. You can see that the level I plotted on the chart, they are still on the chart, which shows that my analysis, there's no play, there's no trick, there's no lies on my analysis. They are always accurate. Because why my analysis is always accurate? Because I'm working with a clear system that can give you high probability ratio, high probability winning ratio. So if you want to learn and master a clear trading system, you can book my one-on-one mentorship. The link in the description below. So last week I said I expect price to come to this resistance level before start looking for selling opportunity. This week you can see that price really did move as expected as last week. So what we expect this week on the US30? US30 this week, price closed on these support levels. So long price close on a support level, we can't sell on support levels. Selling on this support level might be a trap for buyers. So buyers are going out of the US30 now because price is going on a support level. So what we expect this week on the US30, we need price to come back to this resistance area or this resistance area. Then we can start looking for selling opportunity for the US30, because we still have the trend of the US30 showing series of lower high. So long we have this series of lower high, our job on the US30 is to start looking for more of the bearish trend on the US30. So expect price to go to the key zones I just plotted. Then we can start looking for our selling opportunity on the US30. So let's go to the weekly chart of the US30 to confirm the trend of the week on the US30. So on my US30, you can see that price clearly close on a support level and also convert a support into a resistance level. So we have these areas. So all we need from the US30 this week now, we need price reversal from to these areas, any of these levels. Then we can start looking for selling opportunity for the US30 this week. So we expect price to retest these levels, then before we can start looking for our selling opportunity on the US30 this week. So let's go back to the daily chart of the US30. So on my daily chart, you can clearly see that price on the daily chart and the weekly chart are in line. They are indicating price reversal before we start looking for possible selling opportunity on the US30. So let's look at the BTC, which is our next pair. BTC USD. If you watch my previous analysis on the BTC USD, what I said I expect price to push to this resistance, and price fail, we can start looking for possible selling opportunity or price back to this support level. Now, what do we expect? Price went to these levels and price fail, so we expect price to set to this back to this support level, and price fail to break below this support level, we can start looking for buying opportunity. But If price break these levels, we start looking for more of selling opportunity on the BTC USD. So let's confirm the move on the BTC USD this week. Let's go to the weekly time frame. So on my weekly time frame on the BTC USD, price closed on this weekly resistance levels. So long we have price on this weekly resistance level, we might be seeing price dropping, but we need clear direction on the BTC USD before we can make any decision. We need clear direction. The price not that clear yet, but we still need clear direction of price because we see how this level not tested. We see how this level not tested. There's a chance of price still coming to this area for start looking for sell. So BTC USD not that clear yet until we see the clear direction of price before we can make our decision. But this week price closed on resistance level, so we have to still look out for more of the sell if we can get. So we have to look out for more of sell from this level to this area. If price fail to break this level, we buy. But if price break, we start to look out for more sell on the BTC USD. So our job on the BTC USD is to work to sell to this support level. Then break of this support level, price will push lower, but if price fail, we see expect more bullish trend on the BTC USD. So take advantage of this analysis. Then utilize the levels I indicated for you to buy and sell. But if you don't know how to make use of these levels, you can book my one-on-one mentorship, the link in the description below. If you find the analysis helpful, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe for more strategies and forex analysis. You can also watch my previous analysis at the top where I break down all the last move that happened last week. So take advantage of it, watch it so you can learn from it so that to improve your trading skills. So thank you for watching. See you in my next video.